from a 702 area code. Who's this? Where are you calling from? It's a little too damp out there. 702. Are you eating? Are you walking somewhere? Where are you
Eating
walking
an apple.
to? You eating an apple? 702? 702?
Hello?
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 Hello, Sam?
Yes?
Oh, hello. Hey, sorry. Sorry, I'm arriving at college right now. I'm calling in from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah?
Jose Silva.
Uh-huh.
I love your show. You do a good job, and thank you for all the reporting you do on immigration. I'm a Latino, and it's sad and tragic to see what happens to my people. Some people like to say, I used to watch Jimmy Dore. I don't watch it anymore. And all with his these Democrats, but I'm not sure if I'm making sense, but I didn't see Jill Stein talk about immigration too much, and
well, it was very easy for a lot of people to say, "Hey, we can." I don't want to overstate this. It was easy for ignorant people to say, "We'll be able to get by. It's not that big of a deal. This is a risk that I'm willing to take to heighten the contradictions, and we'll make it." But if you're one of 800,000 people in this country who have been here for 10 years and you were brought here as a child, and you're faced with deportation to a country you're not terribly familiar with, and you're just waiting every day to see if that's going to work out, or if you're one of millions whose parents are threatened with deportation. I got a story right here about a 10-year-old girl who has cerebral palsy, and she's being detained. And by detained, imprisoned is really that's really what it is. In Texas, she passed through a border patrol checkpoint at night. I think they must have taken her in the middle of the night because they were afraid. She came to this country when she was 3 months old. She's now 10. She was being transferred from a medical center in Laredo to a hospital in Corpus Christi. Maybe it was the hospital that was taking her. Maybe that's standard procedure. The Border Patrol agents stopped the ambulance she was riding in. They then allowed her to continue to the Children's Hospital, but they followed the ambulance the rest of the way there, then waited outside her room until she was released from the hospital and put her in a detention facility in San Antonio, where children who arrive alone from the United States from Central America are held, even though her parents, who both lack legal status, live 150 miles away in Laredo. I mean, how sick do you have to be to carry out these orders or to actually issue these orders? I mean, you have to be sick and sadistic. And frankly, anybody who thought that this was something that we could get through was just not contemplating the fact that they are maybe in a position where their privilege means that they're not subject to any of this. I don't know if that was your point.
Yeah,
but,
that definitely is the point. Like I said, Jimmy Dore, maybe a couple months ago, before the election, I used to watch him more than you. I didn't know who you were necessarily until now. Now I don't watch him at all. But I never see Jimmy Dore talk about immigration. All he's always yelling about is how the Democrats and whatever, and it sucks. And Jimmy Dore kind of sucks, man. And then it really. But I thank you, Sam Seder, and Ronald Reagan. I'm not sure if he's listening to me now, but personally, I want to be an interpreter for the courts, and Ronald Reagan's podcast is really, really awesome. And I've been inspired to maybe start up a podcast and maybe talk about the news in Spanish.
Wow.
For all my Spanish-speaking,
You
my
should.
whole Spanish-speaking community here.
You should.
Yes. Yeah.
Send us an email if you need some suggestions on how to set it up.
Yeah. And then one more thing. Yeah, here in Las Vegas, you know, we had our Las Vegas shooting. Me on my Facebook page, I just said, you know, I tried to make people feel better, but, you know, there were still some people talking about, you know, politics isn't going to get us anywhere if we talk about gun control, or this isn't the time to talk about gun control. And it's freaking ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
You know, it has no sense. But yes, thank you, Sam. Thank you for what you're doing, and keep up the good work. And maybe I'll call in some other day. And yes, I'll definitely email you. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Appreciate the call.
All right. Thank you.
Apparently, this girl came to this country. Her mom, who's now 39, said that the family moved to Texas from Nuevo Laredo, city in Mexico, just across the border from Laredo, when her daughter was an infant, 3 months old, hoping to get better treatment for her cerebral palsy. They had not been able to afford her therapies in Mexico. In Texas, Medicaid paid for her daughter's treatment, which included home visit therapists. And there's a lot of people, like, for those people who are listening to this, and they're offended that a 3-month-old child would get Medicaid treatment for cerebral palsy, and be upset by it, you should really look at yourself in the mirror and then punch yourself in the face. Because the idea that we can't afford to help a girl in this situation is just absurd. It's obscene. There are people who just raise the wealthy estate tax on estates worth more than $10 million. We're really worried about those family farms. All those family farms that don't exist, that have had to close and never existed because of the estate tax. Let's just do this. Any estate worth more than $25 million, 90% taxation every dollar after that. Literally, you could fit the number of people in this country, I don't know, in a couple of these offices that we have here. And you could pay for treatment for kids like this over and over and over and over and over again. Honestly, if you're fixated on the idea that someone who's Mexican got this cerebral palsy treatment, really, seriously, look at yourself in the mirror and then punch yourself in the face. Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos